Tuesday loves. Um, I wanted to approach a topic. I'm not going to take too much time. I'm at the Libby, of course. And Selkis Ray had talked about Keke Palmer and Darius a few days ago. That video was taken down. She probably put it on her Patreon, theuglygirlsclub.com. I would highly suggest visiting. She touched on some really, um, she touched on a lot. I took a lot of notes. And then Kevin Wesley touched on it yesterday as well. And so I left a lovely long message on his page. I'm going to get into it real quick. I'm really a stickler on domestic violence. I have performed at shows and things of that nature in regards to domestic violence. It had been a very long time when I first started doing poetry, maybe like, or going to spots, I should say, maybe about probably like 2000 when I first started. But one of my dear friends was shot, one of my closest friends. She actually the one who started my dreads when a sister girl ain't have no hair. Okay. Hair about this long. I had just shaved it all off. I was working at the doctor's office and they were stressing me out and I cut it all the way down. And I said, girlfriend, put some dreads in it. I had them started by one friend. I left them in, couldn't get in touch with her. They was looking a little raggedy. I washed them out and that's when I called her. She was like, girl, I can hook you up with your dreads. And so for a year before she was shot, um, I was having my girlfriend do my dreads. I would go to the shop. She was right down the street, and she would hook me up, as opposed to me where I used to going to her house um, and getting cute little braid styles for my natural hair with the curls. Anyway, her name was Tamika Jones, and just to keep a um, long story short, um, she had a man she had been with for like 8 years. She had one child previous to them being together. They had one child, baby girl, together. They all stayed in the same household. He mainly watched the kids. She was the bread earner of the house. He did finally get a job doing taxi driving, and she asked him for a ride somewhere. He said, "Well, I'm gonna need some money," and she's like, "I don't know what you're gonna do." But they separated when he started going off to see somebody else, and he tried to come back. She told him she wasn't taking him back, but she let him in the house. He shot her, turned around, shot himself. Kids were in the other room. Okay. That happened. You can check the story if you want to. That was the Indy Star. Um, it is very serious. They were supposed to get married and everything, and she probably would have eventually taken him back. She loved him. Um, but that did not happen. He was feeling some kind of way. So that was from December 16th, 2023. Okay. Years later, well, a little bit later, um, I woke up out of my sleep and I wrote, I'm watching my time. I wrote this poem. I'm going to have you listen to the poem. Um, I didn't edit it, any of that. Straight from the heart, straight out of my sleep, couldn't get it out of my mind. And just went ahead, recorded it on the mic, and hadn't did anything with it since until right now, this very moment. My little African bitch. While you do that, I'm going to get some clothes on. Isn't that nice? Hey, Tamika Jones. Be right back. My little African bitch. He will protect me. I went through a slew of niggas
before I finally asked myself if I had the right one. Met him at a party, working as a security guard, protecting his clientele, and I said, yep, he fits the bill. He works. Big boy, his stance scares his gloves, that way he ain't gonna be bothered with my little shape. And so we started dating. We are now going on 10 years. We are planning wedding plans. But we were happy. We done had a baby together. You caring for my kids and that are not had by you, and caring for the ones that are had by you, and fuck it, they're all yours. Baby, I'm yours. Ain't nobody gonna do you like I do you. Let's do it. Let's just make this shit official. You are my life, my joy, my happiness. And from the first moment I met you, I knew you were going to be my protection. Three clap, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. Things changed, and I don't know when they changed or how they changed or why they changed. All I know is you my nigga. And if I need a ride to work, I'm not supposed to pay for it because you's my nigga. Fuck what you heard. I need to get there to work and support our family. Use my. That is not the words that are coming out of your mouth. The words that are coming out of your mouth is, I got to pay for this bitch every week. This is the amount that she cost every week. Baby, I'm trying to work and get it to jump off every week. But it ain't happening. And because it ain't happening on my end like it should, I have to tap into you like I've been doing for the past 10 years. Okay. Negro, I think it's time for you to go. I have surpassed the transportation bill, the light bill, the gas bill, the rent bill, whatever fucking bill, the big bill, whatever it is. I have worked beyond that shit. I have done more than enough to be accommodating. So bitch, it's time to go. Ain't nobody gonna love you like I love you. And since you love that bitch a little bit more that you just got, you need to stick with her ass. See how she handle them bills. Apparently she didn't handle them too well. Because you came begging and pleading and asking your ear. By this time, fuck it, I've had enough. Negro, wherever you've been in the street, wherever you've been sleeping, whatever you've been doing, go back to that shit. It's been 10 years. I've been through 10 years of hell. I finally got a little piece of freedom. I'm coming up off of whatever shit we done had, and I'm in the healing process. Bitch, I need you to go back where you came from. Yes, we got this child together. We've been together all this time, and it's been a lot of love and a lot of history and a lot of experience, but it's a brand new day. And I have been hemmed up for so long, and I finally feel the sun rays on my face, and I sense the light. And since it's been so long since I've bathed, having difficulty. See, I've been emptying out closets, throwing away bullshit, getting rid of emotions, figuring out how I feel, and thinking about where the fuck I want to be in 5 years from now. Take your shit and get the fuck out. He was supposed to protect me. I fell in love with him because he was supposed to protect me. I looked at his stats. I looked at what he did. I looked how he handled people. I looked at his mannerisms, and I loved the way he made me come. He was supposed to fucking protect me. Click clack. Bitch, if I can't have you, nobody else can. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang. Ooh. Bang, 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 bang. He's a selfish motherfucker. This bitch. You were supposed to protect me. Oh, you are some motherfucker that's full of goddamn shit. After 10 years of giving you selfless, endless love to you and your seed, you have decided my fate for me. You said, if I can't have you, bitch, can't nobody have you. And just like that, you put check. I'll kick us in the next motherfucking row. And the kids that we've been loving on for so many years, and I've been putting my love, sweat, tears, and whatever else into, but you said, fuck it. And instead of reaping the consequences for your actions after shooting me, you became a coward. You shot yourself, and you left our kids motherless and fatherless. You silly bitch. And I wish you could hear these words that I am spewing to you from the grave, but you can't. But that's okay, because I got a bitch who's spewing it for me. Domestic violence, bitch, is real. The shit occurs every goddamn day. Don't think for a minute that nigga won't. If you threaten his livelihood or to take his life away after giving him the fist, it's that bullshit. The next bitch told him no. She says, I thought you had your shit together, but that bitch over there, she holds me down. I don't want you. Get your head out your ass. You better realize what you got, baby. It is gold. the grass is not greener. Especially if you're not contributing to water in that motherfucker. On the other goddamn side. Now that's the top for your ass. And that's that thing.
I wrote that January 15th, 2016 at 10:01 p.m.
Gonna take the phone from her. And in that moment, he's trying to get the truth.
Let's talk about.
And he's gonna turn around and lock himself in the bathroom so he can try to find the truth. So it's not
Okay, so Kevin talked about the video. We watched the video closely together. Keke had a phone. Darius wanted the phone, and he did all that to get the phone. Her phone is what I'm understanding from her. I'm going to go through real quick what I wrote, and then I'm going to touch base on a brief, rough draft of some of the notes that was covered in the video 3 days ago from Sal, because I ain't going to get into all the nitty gritty. It was long. It was deep. You definitely need to hear it. By the way, my friend who was shot, he died looking like a king. She died looking like a pauper after all that. Yeah. Thank you, Tamika. May you rest in peace, darling. So in regards to Keke and DJ, I put, it's a little too late for them. She sealed the deal in another bag when she created Boyfriend with Usher. It's a wrap. I don't really understand why they are together, actually, especially with her being in the music industry. His actions are confusing from some of the pictures he has posted up on her, himself, and them together. She creates mainly secular music. I know she's done some church music and things of that nature, but her audience she aims to is mainly secular. But he wants a good girl used for the public imagery. That is not how that works. No sane person that I know is turning down Usher deals or bags. Are y'all turning down Usher deals and bags, ladies? Or gentlemen, for that matter. Especially with a newborn baby to feed. How are you going to want her to be a covered up woman but was just showing her twerking or himself half without clothes posted up by himself on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it was, then call himself calling her out publicly? Really? Both of them are on one. This is the mirror point. Her for picking someone not on her level. Him for expecting a traditional relationship when their situation is anything but traditional. No, he should not have used force. A long time ago during the Airbnb, when I had a little guy staying there, we had our own issues. I wanted to call the police and he took the phone from me. I talked to the Julian Center. Maybe you have one of those in your area. A friend took me there. She told me about them. I got a same-day eviction. I was running a business. I had a bed and breakfast. I had people staying there. If I want to call the police, I don't need you taking the phone from me if I want to do anything and using force. You are more physical than me. You are a male. That is my right as a woman. You don't need to interfere. So ladies, don't announce that you're calling the police. You just take your phone, go to the bathroom and call. Or wherever it is. You let them know afterwards. But the Julian Center helped me with a same-day restraining and eviction notice. And I watched that ass get tossed out the house with what he could walk with. And I thank my dear friend for that. Okay, so now you know. And then most domestic violence or things of that nature have a hotline that you can call. in the event of a crisis. So to my understanding, she was trying to use her phone to make a phone call for help, and he did not want her doing that and took the phone. But you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I have gotten from my investigation. Okay. I assume she was keeping her phone from him, which respectively he should not be going through her phone. Phones are for holding contracts, negotiations, and other items that assist with bag or bags. As far as a partner, that person is either part of the problem or part of the solution. Other male artists may have wanted to work with her, but she was hemmed up with someone insecure by her status, as he should be. He need to get up, get out, and get something. If he is preventing you from using your phone to call for help, it is abuse. Any DV center will tell you that. Not only will they tell you that, they may also help you file same-day restraining and eviction notices. That's what I just talked about. This is what we see with the phone that is caught on camera. This makes me ponder what has been done that we have not seen. All we've seen was a glimpse. That glimpse was enough. Agreed. They should part ways. And I added this one to my Keke Palmer and Darius Who playlist. I thought it was very good material, thoroughly explained, and I thanked Kevin for covering the topic on the photos, red flags, traumas, insecurities, abuse, DV, as well as expectations and boundaries. All right. Let's see. Okay, watching my time. I'm actually almost done with this session, but I do have a separate session I want to do later, but I think this is good for now. We'll see. Let me go to my clips. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, Camp. I like it, Camp. He's having a new album, or he had an album just drop. Just a minute. He was freestyling. I'll go back to that later. Okay. Clips. All right, I'm going to run through this list of clip notes. First clip, preach, stop trying to prove what you're worth. Forfeit, it does not do anything for your bottom line. Learn to cut folks off. Safety, if no one wants to be you, then you do not have a reputation to protect. It is an illusion in your mind. These are just clip notes. You go to school, get the degrees, you hope they give you a job just over broke, and then they don't pay you as much worth, and then you end up training a non-colored person. The truth about politics. Mass destruction by work environment, control, and indoctrination. These were really good subjects, y'all. It was really deep. Not today. He, she gives you a compliment in exchange for money, your bag, and a place to say it is not free. It is now a debt that you owe, is what is thought when he or she gives you a compliment. More so probably from a he, unless you are LGBT, and then that other person, depending upon what you're attracted to, may be trying to obtain those as well. Let's see. Keke Palmer being abused. It is always a money thing. Be careful of the type of partners you pick. If he hits you, he wants to kill you. He don't have no love for you. All bets are off once you are, or whatever you thought in your mind, or that you possibly could, woulda, shoulda, we ain't had yet, I thought we could, potential. Flush. Flush down the toilet. Flush, dump it in the river. Burn the trash in the backyard. That's what us Southern folks did. Yeah. So those were the notes that were discussed. And then I got time to talk about, I think, one more thing. Let me see. I think it kind of ties into it. Let me go here real quick. All right, so I said initially 8 years, but the poem I did was fresh and I kept saying 10 years. So they must have been together 10 years, not 8. But still, that is a long time of your life, in your youth, and taking care of somebody because when she met him, he was a security guard, and taking care of somebody, and he wasn't no small dude. He was a big dude, and she was like this little itty bitty petite thing. And I couldn't understand it. She said, he makes me feel safe. Okay. Let's talk about transactions. I'm going to try to be as ladylike as I can with this real quick. All right. So my Sherpa, I call her Sherpa, told me to F feelings and catch flights. Okay. She said, you should be getting everything you want. And I think of Too Short when I hear that. You should be getting everything you want, everything you possibly ask for, which is why I strive so hard with what I'm doing right now as far as businesses and getting those together and things. And some of you may not be built for it, but I did have a talk with someone the other day. I said whether the transaction between mom and dad to bring the baby in the world was monetary or some other means of value, there was still a transaction. I wasn't sure how I was going to word that because that's not how it was worded in my paperwork, but I think you get the point. All right. So that is how you got here. Whether it was by natural means, artificial insemination, or you didn't use protection and the fluid just slipped in, it is a transaction. Whether you got paid monetary for that transaction or not, it is still a transaction. Whether you had feelings about what you did or did not charge for that transaction once the transaction happens, or if you felt a certain way after the experience, your cost too low, not the desired outcome or result. At that time, feelings are null and void. The transaction, experience, roller coaster, park ride, spaceship, coming back down to earth to land has already happened. All right. What a magical moment it was for some of you. For others, the magic was not so magical. No condoms, birth control, prophylactics were used, not even a plan B. You Google what Plan B is. There's lots of choices out there. Okay, I believe I put it in another video. It is CVS. Was it CVS? CVS, I believe, said it was the number 2 selling item at their store when I went. And you don't pop those back to back thinking those are gonna work, ladies. The more you take them, the less potent they are. Okay. I have used the IUD, no hormone. I favor that. But really, in all, you should just be using maybe that and some condoms if you're going to be out there handling some business transactions. All right. All right. Whether a hospital was used for your birth to this world, it costs money. Money to the parents, money to the hospitality or facility, hospital or facility or the midwife, money for supplies, money to the insurance company. Whether you dated him or her, stayed in a relationship, got married, or you were an escort, the person spending money is known as a trick. Per definition of the 40 Laws of Pimpology by Pimp Ken, they can also be referred to as a SIMP. My acronym for that is Seductive, Intelligent, Masculine Professionals. No matter how you reflect on the moment, at some point you are a whore. He or she did not marry you for how well you do the dishes, clean the house, or cook. When you are truly living your purpose, you hire folks for that. You aren't going to have time for that. Okay? Now, I was listening to someone the other day talk about wedding vows. Be careful when you take them. We know what the wedding vows are. I used to be a marriage officiant. I still could if I wanted to do that. I mean, I still have my certificate. But that whole for better or worse, rich or poor, sickness, health, to death do we part, we're gonna leave out a whole slew of those. All the negative stuff. So, yeah, I'm not Catholic. And that Bible is Hebrew. I am curious. If all the kings had concubines, then what did all the Delilahs have? The queen, why didn't she have an option or choices? She should be allowed to have fun as well. Come first. I'm not talking a eunuch. Fully equipped variety is the spice of life, just like the cooking ingredients in your kitchen. Each person has their own skill set. Eunuchs were often placed in charge of the harem or employed as a chamberlain in a palace. They could be used to serve as intermediaries between Molochs and elite women. Okay, just in case you didn't know what that was. And that was abolished on November 5th, 1924. All right, so I went through the statistics, statistic.com. 4.15 million Black families in the United States are single mothers, increased. 3.4 million families with single mothers on October 10th, 2023. United States with a single mother. Okay, they're saying that was an increase from 1990, and that in 2023 was 3.4. I just want to make sure I read that correctly. Which race has the most fatherless children? 57.6% Black children, 31.2% Hispanic children, 20.7% white children are living absent their biological fathers. Thank you, Lord, for blessing me with a father in the household. Okay, that was from National Center for Fathering Extent of Fatherlessness. Okay. I'm not sure if you're aware yet, but the impact of child tax credit, I got an email through Move On that the Republicans wanted to block the relief for families and give themselves an $8,000 raise without demanding Congress give parents a $3,600 pay raise for reinstating the expanded the child tax credit through the American Families Act of 2023. I hope that you got a petition and you signed it. If not, I'm gonna drop the link in the comments and you can sign it. I'll double check first to see if the petition is still going on. That whole no man in the house rule, when folks got mad they couldn't be in the house because the government was covering them, yeah, we needed that in place. The only thing I can say is that just boils down to what I talked about with like Keke and Darius. That mirror is what I was talking to you about. We just got to pick better. Pick better or don't have it all. So I'm not sure about where you are as far as what women's rights are in regards to having a pregnancy terminated. I think I got to be real careful when I use certain words on YouTube. I have not learned which ones yet, so we're just going to call it that. And so it's illegal now in Indiana. I did not know that until I looked it up the other day. I was just telling someone earlier that what men want to do, what they've always wanted to do, is control freedom of speech. And when it comes to women, their bodies and their sexuality. Since the beginning of time, period. Yeah. So they were spending a lot of money, and they said, we're not going to, and I can understand that because he's supposed to be the provider. We're not going to be taking care of the baby, and he's in the house, and he's supposed to be the provider. So, yeah. One of my family members had like 9 kids. They didn't marry or anything like that. When she died, all the kids got taken away because they didn't get married because benefits would have been cut had they gotten married and you living in the house. Okay. And then real quick, so laws are put in place for a reason. I'm trying to figure out if most of y'all not having orgasms anyway, why are y'all sleeping with these men, letting these men live with you, and they're using folks as punching bags? I do want to so he wants that plus multiple women, by the way. And he can't handle the one he got. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. But if you're listening to this message, it is free on YouTube, or you can buy it on Amazon and download it. It is long, but it is so well worth it. You taking it, I think, especially as a woman, and then dissecting it, breaking it down, listening to it, and then implementing it into your life. If you are being mistreated in any way, that of which I have spoken today during our live, then I recommend you do seek help at your nearest treatment center for ladies, of course, and see what kind of assistance that you can get, okay? All right, thank you for tuning in, Love Tubers. I appreciate you. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you thought of the material. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, love. Bye.